Hey guys, this is Hamon, and welcome back to Bytesize, the show where I review games that I've taken interest in. They have to be old, they have to be new, they just have to be something I'm interested in. And today, I'm going to be talking about CloverPit. It's a roguelike slot machine. That's literally it. Not really much of a story. All I know is that you're in a very small space that has a slot machine on one side, a little store and drawers on the other, and you have to pay off a debt that you somehow accumulated. I'm gonna assume there's a reason for this, but that's literally all you have to go by. And yeah, so first off, just to really get into it, the graphics, it's very grungy. Like, it's kind of got that buckshot roulette type of vibe to it, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was in fact made by the same person. But yeah, it's basically like you got all this dark, dreary look. You have some very bloody looking stuff. When you throw stuff around, they get bloody and all that. But otherwise, it looks just dark and grungy. That's it. Like, all the models are very polygonal and all that, on purpose, obviously. And it looks great, though. Like, I do love it for that. But it's kind of like, yeah, you definitely don't want to end up here type of vibe. So that's honestly all I'll really say about it. Like, the only thing I would probably nitpick about is the fact that there's no other clues about the place. Like, there's nothing that really exposes a bit of the lore behind the place. Like, spoiler warning, by the way. The only thing you get is that when you finally are able to escape, you know that there's apparently 3 other towers in the same thing as you. So there's at least 3 other people supposedly going under the same conditions, and that's honestly all you know. Now, in terms of mechanics, it's slot machines that you just have to try and pay off debt with. Kind of a Lethal Company kind of vibe with that. You just basically gotta try to make enough money in order to pay off the debt. And a lot of times you're gonna die doing that. But that's why there's items that you can get that will alter the outcome of the slot machines. Whether it's stuff that boosts the probability of certain symbols coming up, or things that multiply this value entirely, like just boost it up permanently or temporarily for the round. You have ones that boost the patterns of that will come up on the slots. You have ones that will just alter certain outcomes that will pop up after a certain amount of rounds. You'll have things that just happen whenever you do certain conditions. Various charms that do that kind of stuff. And honestly, the ones that are most successful are usually ones involving the lemons or the cherries, as I've come to find. Because going for ones like 7s or diamonds or chests are like the hardest to do. Although I'm sure for those that are 100%ing this, there's likely going to be ones that are a lot harder to get to because of the fact that you probably have to do things with the chests, diamonds, 7s, and such. But I'm not that kind of person, so I don't fully worry about that. That's honestly all there really is about this, because it's like, once you pay off the debt to a certain degree, you get a key, which at first is to unlock the drawers, which they act as a way to store the items instead of throwing them out, so that you can have space to buy new items, and even switch between them and all that. Now, again, this is spoilers. If you have all 4 drawers, you will obtain corpse parts if you have items in there and after you die. Those corpse parts will add to the debt when you equip them. This is necessary in order to get the key to live, but it's not just those 4 parts. You also have to buy the skull. The skull has its own unique trait that as long as there is nothing in the drawers, and depending on how many corpse parts you have, it will fill those drawers with items. It is always random, so don't expect it to be the same thing every time. It can help or hinder you in a way. helping in the terms that it could either be a really good item or just, you could sell it off and get tickets so that you can buy new items from the store, or it could just be something really bad, which you throw it out anyway. Other aspect is that there is a telephone that will ring every time you end the deadline, which, by the way, you only have 3 rounds to do so, unless you get something that I'll talk about later. The phone rings and you answer it, you'll get 3 choices of special perks to activate. It could be something good, like, 7s manifest more, or the patterns that land, whether it's a 3 pattern or 4 patterns and up, that will be much more valuable, or such. But then there's also ones that are like negative in aspect, like, you can double your coins but lose all your tickets, or you double your tickets but lose all coins, or we can make certain things half appear, like they don't appear as often. Well, technically that's a good one to go with, technically, if you're trying to go for specific symbols. But you also have ones that add a special little trait to your items. All in all, this is a very interesting game, and I would recommend checking it out if you ever need a momentary type of distraction situation. Like, it's not something that you can spend hours upon hours to do, per se, but it doesn't have to be like I'm going to stick to this type of situation. But I do definitely recommend it, and it's available on Steam, as probably mentioned at the very start of this video. And yeah, that's about it. So with all that said, I want to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, favorite, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Check out my socials so that you know when I post other things, like whether I stream or make TikToks or post art or my ramblings. Either way, once more, thank you for watching, and hope to see you next time. Bye!